When you're able to read, an infinite number of possibilities are at your fingertips to explore. However, in America, we have to do a better job of ensuring our children's literacy rates get a passing grade. Because you see, on a national level, some 34% of students are below basic reading levels in the fourth grade, according to the U.S. National Center for Education Statistics. The agency also reports that another 31% of students are below proficient reading levels. And rounding out this troubling trend, the organization also reports that 27% of 8th graders aren't making the grade when it comes to their reading levels. Meanwhile, it is estimated that in the Motor City of Detroit, 86% of 3rd graders cannot read at grade level. That's where Soar Detroit is here to make a meaningful difference. It's a youth literacy and sport organization focused on improving the youth literacy rate in the city of Detroit. The president and CEO of Soar Detroit is Russell Harris, and he joined me this week to have a conversation about youth literacy in the Motor City and the steps Soar Detroit is taking to move the needle of progress forward when it comes to kids' ability to read and open up their minds to learning. I'm Kevin McShann. Let's have this conversation. Harris began our conversation by detailing the inroads that Soar Detroit is making in improving the literacy rates of some deserving Detroit youngsters.
Yeah, absolutely. So Soar Detroit, we exist to help every willing third grader improve their reading proficiency. So we want to help every student grow in their reading proficiency. And then we also want to help students come to know and better understand who Christ is through building relationships, right? So we partner with churches, we partner with schools, we partner with after school sites to be able to implement this mission. We also, like you said, we have a sports program that's been around since 1995. And that sports program, we offer non-traditional sports, everything from flag football to ice hockey. And our goal there is to help young people build personal relationships with caring adults, as well as come to know Jesus. So that's our mission, and that's what we're doing.
And I know that along with that mission is your mission to improve literacy and also to promote healthy communities within the city where kids can know they have a safe place to go as well. So I'm wondering if you can tell me about it.
Yeah. So because of the pandemic, building community has never really been virtual, right? It's always been in a place, you come, you convene over, food or over a specific, understanding or event. Well, due to the pandemic, we've been able to uh, create community virtually. And this virtual community that we've built has allowed students to build lasting relationships with caring adults, right? So what we do is we have what we call mentors who serve as tutor coaches or tutors who help students improve their reading proficiency once per day, twice a week for an hour per day. And those individuals, those caring adults are with those children through the duration of our program.
And I know that one of the driving forces behind why you wanted to start this is because you said that 86% of Detroit third graders can't read above a grade level. So I'm wondering if we can really dive into the heartbeat of the matter from a statistical perspective and why it's so important for you to have such a vibrant community presence.
Yeah. So yeah, you hit it right on the head here, Kevin. So Detroit third graders, I think it's only 8% of Detroit third graders are considered reading proficient, meaning they have the basic skills to pass a reading exam, um, or they read at grade level. Michigan enacted a law that states students who can't read at grade level by third grade are encouraged, or that they haven't. They say that you have to repeat the third grade, but it's like, yeah, no, those students are encouraged to repeat the third grade. And now that the pandemic is over and students are back in schools, we believe that this mission or this legislation is going to be enforced. So you can imagine if only 8% of third graders are reading at grade level, that's 92% of students who are at risk of repeating the third grade. And that's problematic, right? So that's why we exist.
Yeah, absolutely. And Russell, I want to dive just a little bit deeper into your personal background, but I know that you have a background in both sports and education as a principal. So tell me why it's important for you specifically to lead this effort and what sort of direction you hope to bring the organization under your leadership.
Yeah, that's a good question. So, yeah, I ran track in college. I After college, I became a college admissions counselor, and then did some diversity work. And what I found in the diversity recruitment work was that the urban communities that I visited, they didn't have the type of education system built where young kids will be able to thrive on a college campus. So I started doing some free tutoring, and that led to me going off to Stanford to study business. And then from there, um, one of the gentlemen that I was working with when I was doing my free tutoring was calling me every day, like, yo, I'm coming to Detroit. I'm moving to Detroit. There's an opportunity to be at a school. You should come. And at the time, we were doing a case study on Detroit's bankruptcy. So it was like, there's absolutely no way I'm moving to Detroit. Well, he paid for me to come on a visit, and I fell in love with the city, and I've been here ever since. I was a dean at a high school and became the principal, and led the school to be one of the top open enrollment schools in the city. But I was young, there was a lot of stuff that I didn't know. There was a lot of things that I wanted to experience. So I transitioned from education in terms of the four walls of a school to education outside of the four walls of the school and doing nonprofit work. And that's what I've been ever since. And with this work with SOAR, it's my job to help improve the outcomes for Black and Brown students in the city. So we want to help students become better equipped to be scholars in schools. And the only way to do that is by foundationally teaching students how to read.
And tell me, Russell, when kids discover the gift of reading, tell me the possibilities that are open up to them when they discover the gift of reading.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a light bulb. It's like a light bulb goes off and it sparks. So students who can read at grade level, students who, when they discover how to read, you see them the curiosity for other subjects and other things come into play. So not only will students achieve or thrive in reading, but they thrive in math, they thrive in science. Students who can read at grade level by third grade are 89% more likely to graduate high school. And once you graduate high school, the world opens up to you in terms of what you can do. So our goal and what we try to push with our students is, creating an opportunity for them to find success, not only after third grade, but in high school. We have a high school mentoring program. We also have a college internship program, right? So yeah, kids that once you learn how to read, your future is unlimited. You're taking the ceiling off of what you can do.
Yeah, I also know that you're the chair of the board of directors for Black Male Educators Alliance of Michigan. So tell me about the endeavor there and what it's all about, buddy.
Yeah. So BMEA, Black Male Educator Alliance, is a conglomerate of men and women, but primarily men who are focused on recruiting and retaining and developing Black male educators in Michigan, and they provide everything from professional development to they provide resources, wellness resources for Black men in education. They do a lot of things, and it's our goal to increase the pipeline for men becoming educators, because only 2% of America's teaching force is educators. And students, whether you're Black or white, students who have a male educator are almost 90% more likely to graduate high school. And that's having a Black male educator. Having a Black male educator before third grade, you're almost guaranteed to graduate high school. So
yeah, just before I ask you my next question, will that be your daughter? Would that be your daughter next to you, buddy?
yeah, that's my daughter. Can you say hi? Can you say hi? She's shy.
She wanted to make a cameo appearance. She's your better half, right?
She is. There we go.
There we go. There we got the hi. That's good. So, Russell, I really respect what you do, buddy. I don't know if you did any research on me, but I was born with spastic quadriplegia cerebral palsy. So I went through all of the special education experiences when I went to school, and I know the value of mentors and the value of special education. So tell me about your views on diversity, equity, and inclusion for students with disabilities in the classroom as well.
Yeah. I think we need, so that's a great question. First, let me just start there. And what you are doing is changing the perspective of so many people, right? So in terms of diversity, equity, and inclusion in the classroom, I think we need to give students the same opportunity, no matter what their disability, no matter what their what their IEP, whatever it says. We need to create an equal opportunity for students to thrive, right? And sometimes we find in some of the special ed classes and environments, we find that students who are in those classes are kind of forgotten about, and just kind of pass through the system, and that's not fair. So I'm in terms of the equity and inclusion, I'm a firm believer, like, everybody gets the same shot. You know, everybody gets the same tools. Everybody gets the same resources. So, yeah, what you've been able to accomplish. I didn't know your history. So what you've been able to accomplish is monumentous, and it's definitely something that gives me as a guy who is an educator and have been I've worked with students. It gives me hope and motivation. That's what I want to say. It gives me motivation to see and share the story with other folks and see what, show them what's possible for them as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And Russell, I don't know how to tell you, we often say that it takes a village to raise a child. But how do you think improving literacy will help really raise the bar when it comes to raising kids in the 21st century?
Oh yeah. So again, reading is the foundation to everything we do. You can't do math unless you can read. You can't do science unless you can read. So 21st century is a century that is led by technology, right? And in order to be efficient, effective, and even have an opportunity in this new workforce, you have to be able to read. And what we're doing is opening up the possibilities for students to be able to be participants in this 21st century.
Yeah, absolutely. And you had mentioned earlier about reading mentors. So anyone watching or listening to this, tell them how they can become reading mentors, buddy.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So people can sign up to be a mentor with Soar Detroit by visiting our website, soardetroit.com, and then click on mentor. Soardetroit.com and click on mentor. There's a form they would fill out, and it'll come to us, and we'll be in contact. We'll call them and set up everything. And we do need mentors because obviously there's a lot of students in the city who need support, right? So mentors are in high demand. So if you're interested, please visit our website and sign up.
Yeah, and Russell, I'm curious to ask you about not losing the learning knowledge that kids gain during the school year over the summer. How do you think we can accomplish that effectively?
Yeah, so they call it learning loss or summer melt, right? Where students who don't engage in academic activities over the summer, they consider them as losing what they've learned. The way to combat that is by engaging students or putting students in programs that's going to challenge them mentally. So don't get me wrong, physical programs are great, but our students need to be in academic programs over the summer as well. I know they spend the entire year behind a desk at a school, but the summer they need to have some type of brain stimulation in terms of academic stimulation that's going to allow them to keep those mental wheels spinning, if you will.
Yeah, and how do we get kids passionate to really get excited about literacy, in your opinion, buddy? Can you hear me now? And then we're back. So I'll just ask you that last question again, because I think I lost you there for a second. Russell, how do you think we can get kids excited about and passionate about literacy, buddy?
Yeah. So I think it starts at a young age. Students who have parents who read with them while they're kids, they kind of turn on that light and create reading opportunities for students to enjoy reading. And that's what it's all about. You have to make it fun. If you make it fun and it's not seen as something that's like a chore, then we can get more students excited about reading. But it has to happen early in their lives. And for students who, who haven't had the opportunities to read earlier in their lives, we have to incentivize their reading later on in life, right? So we have to give them specific things that they want in order to increase the desire to read.
Yeah, absolutely. And Russell, my final question for you this morning has to do with your own individual and personal and professional legacy and how you want that to be defined.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a community man. I'm a man of service and a man of faith. And if I'm thinking about my legacy, I would want, if I was to ever, leave this earth, I would want folks to say that he had a heart for his community, and he blessed people with his knowledge and skills.
Yeah, absolutely. And tell me one more time, Russell, if people want to get connected with Soar Detroit, what's the best way they can do that, buddy?
Absolutely. So visit our website. If you're looking to get connected with Soar Detroit, just visit our website. It's soardetroit.com. We're also on social media, on all platforms as Soar Detroit. So you can get connected with us that way.
Fantastic. Well, Russell, I really respect and honor the work that you do to increase the literacy levels of the youth of Detroit, buddy. So your time in the space and on my behalf this morning is most appreciated. I want to commend you on the good work that you're doing, and thank you for joining me this morning.
Hey, Kevin, this has been a pleasure. Looking forward to seeing more of your work, and keep up the great work. Thanks for having me.